Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 5th of November, 2024. Welcome to the channel, The Fifth Guardian. I'm your host, Tony Hunt, where today I'm player of games. But it's not my story. It's not your story. Today's story is the new set of time trials and online multiplayer tournaments that are available in Real Racing 3. The stream's a little bit earlier than normal. I'm unavailable for the rest of the day until this evening. So I'm actually going to do a second live stream. And in that live stream, I'll do part two of the fact that there are multiple series to compete in. So hopefully that's something to look forward to. And that'll be a bit later on this evening, probably sometime around 1900. That's UK time. Right, let's get going. Let me share my screen and my iPad screen, and let's get on. Okay, bit of volume maybe. There we go. Right, so effectively, there's a new multiplayer tournament. There's a new weekly time trial tournament. There are some cars potentially available to be upgrading, but as you know, my focus now is to really sort of like collect gold ready for the new update. But we will take a look at that just in terms of whether it's worthwhile doing or not. But what I'm going to start off with first is the Volkswagen ID.R time trial competition. Now, we recently did an event on this, of which I struggled quite hard with this car, even though I've got this car upgraded to, it's fully upgraded. So this time trial will be very interesting. This is a car that has excellent downforce, so can actually fly around the corners without braking, but not all corners. So it's always a little bit hard to determine whether or not the corner you're going through needs any braking on. But let's get on and let's get racing. And obviously, with it being fully upgraded, I've got unlimited time trial goes. So what I'll do is I'll do a banker lap just to get a time on the board, and then I'll have a couple of goes at see if I can get any better. Oh, the airplay's playing up again today. It's been pretty uninterrupted for the last few days, so I might need to restart that silly thing if it carries on. Now again, I'm probably braking where I don't need to. I'm just getting a banker lap in at this moment in time. I think I've already sort of like got a couple of seconds where I can improve over this lap. But as always, when you start pushing it to the edge, mistakes start to creep in. There we go. So it will be interesting where it puts me. Let's have a look. So I'm in E. I really want to get into C. So how far is it to the next? Oh dear, I forgot to service the car. Never mind. So I've got 1,000 VP. Won't probably get another reward. That's fine. 3.655 seconds to D. Whew. Okay. Let's give it another go. So I'm going to try and do a minimum amount of braking. There we go. I need to find 3 seconds, and I sort of calculated in my mind I probably could only get a couple of seconds, but we'll see. This one's going to be interesting. Oh, see, there we go. I went off, and I went off again. So there's quite a few penalties there, unfortunately. So I just need to lightly tap the brakes, I think, going around those corners. This one's also going to be interesting. I'm going to do it without braking. So I can do that without braking. And look at that, I've got my 3 seconds. But unfortunately, I've got a penalty as well. So if I've got the opportunity, I'm going to... Oh, and I'm off again. If I've got the opportunity, I'm going to have another go, because I reckon I can get at least into D and then start pushing towards C. Might add that, depending on how tonight goes, because it will be a long stream tonight. Might add that in tonight's as well. So look at that. One, that would have done it. Never mind. But I did get 6.5 seconds of penalty, so. Okay. So not to worry. And we've gone into the red. Shame. So there we go. Opportunity of getting into D quite easily, and then I can start working to push into C. But I'll have to do that in another stream. Okay, so that's that. So the weekly time trial. Let's have a look at which car it is. So it is the Lotus Evija. It is the car with the highest PR, but I haven't got this up to 100%. Now, there is a, if I come out of here, so in terms of upgrades, you see I've got 22 out of the 28 done. If I go to the road garage and I do a search for this car, obviously there's an exclusive series, so you'll get some gold back there. It is actually not going to be a great deal of use in that particular series because it's the lowest PR car. So it won't do anything in that series. Will it do anything in past, present, and future? And the answer to that would be yes. So realistically, 33 gold. I don't know how much. 1 second, because I did make a note of this somewhere. Let me note out. So depending on where you've upgraded, there's at least 33 gold from that series. And in terms of the exclusive series, 125 gold. So there's a bit to be had. However, the car itself, depending on where you are in terms of your upgrade, it's going to be quite expensive. As he shuffles through his notes. Here we go. Right. Yeah, so for me, I mean, it has got 50% off. But if I go, for example, to the engine straight away, it's 200 gold. So even though it's half price, it would have been 400. It's 200 gold. That wipes out any gold you would have got back. And then on top of that, suspension, 75 gold, brakes, 58 gold, and tires and wheels, 70 gold. So it, at this moment in time, being so close to the upgrade, for me, it's too expensive. If you guys have got a bit of free gold, though, at 50%, it's potentially probably the best deal you're going to get for this type of car in terms of cheap upgrades. So it could be worthwhile doing. Again, depending on where your car sits in terms of upgrades, and therefore the rewards you can get from completing the series, it would be available in. But as I said, I'm not going to do it, but I am still going to do the time trial. Because it isn't upgraded to, it's not fully upgraded, it does mean I can't do any more than 3 races. So we'll see how we get on. Just having a quick comparison to the Porsche. Yeah, I think the Lotus will blow it out the water. Yeah. So it's the national circuit on the Spanish Grand Prix. So let's give it a go. Again, a banker lap, he said, having gone off track there. So I really did think it would be quite good at holding its position going around corners, but it's not. It has been a while since I've raced this. So I'll get a lap on the board, but yeah, look at that. Yeah, it does lose the back end. It is a short lap. Oh dear. It is a short lap. So any loss of time will exaggerate where you finish. So I'll probably be all the way down in G or something like that. But I'll get another lap in. Yeah, immediately dislike this car. Oh, look, I got some more R dollars because, you know, I'm a little bit low on that. H. So we can do a lot better than that. Get a banker lap in this time then. I really did think it would do a lot better on the corners than what it did do. There you go. So I'm close to coming up to 15 seconds already better than my previous lap. Oh no. This car is terrible round the corners. Okay, so an improvement, but not perfection. Nowhere near. But I was still 16 seconds better than my previous go. And I can improve by at least another 6 seconds. Because although I got a penalty, I took the corners all wrong. So there's some time to be had there. Final go on time trial. Skip video. Bad Gentleman goes, sup? Welcome, Bad Gentleman. Thank you for joining. Be a short stream today, but there will be one later. So I'm behind, but what I've got to really focus on is not messing up the final two corners this time. And that'll gain me close to 6 seconds. So it's this corner here. There we go. Just safe around. That's it. Didn't quite get 6 seconds, but I got 5.5 seconds quicker. So that should put me up to D, or well, E, I think, at the very least. I think D possibly. Let's have a look. Almost into D. Again, I want to really be pushing as close as possible to C, but I'm nowhere near at this moment in time. I'm not going to service the car, not to worry. Again, we'll see if we can do that a little bit later in tonight's stream. So on the board for next week, I've currently got 18 gold, which is a bit disappointing at the moment, and 10. So I'd really want to be putting that up to 15 and the other one to at the very least 25. As I've sort of said before, the time trial stuff might happen naturally because probably more and more people that can't get as good a time as me race it. And so as a percentage wise, that pushes me up into the next group. But I know I can do quite a bit better than that time. So that's 2 races down. So that's the 2 time trials. Might get another go at this time trial. I think I've got to wait. Let's have a look. 15 minutes, is it? Let's have a look. Only 10 minutes. So we might give that another go towards the end of the stream. So what I'll move now on to is the multiplayer event. Now, it is always important to do this every week, even if you haven't got a brilliant card, just to get at least a few points on the board and therefore have it hopefully at least 4 gold. When I do well, I can get up to 7 gold maybe. But with the car being as it is, I'm not entirely sure where I'll end up finishing. Let's have a look at this. So overall, that car looks better. As you can see again, it's another car that would be available for upgrade. So if I just go into the upgrade, you can see again, still quite an expensive car. You know, there's over 200 gold there. It's only 40% here, but that's still normally a good price. And I probably would be interested. So again, if we come out of here and go to the garage and take a look at this car overall, see what groups are available. So the first, what series are available? So the first series on the list is the Hybrid Horizon in Season 2. That's not at 100%. The only question is the car and the sort of like that has the highest PR? It doesn't. In fact, it's way off. So it's more than likely it would not complete that particular series. So there's no additional gold to be had there. The second series on the list is the Bulls of Bologna. So again, I'll just go to the end race, 85 goal, 85 PR. It's not that far off it, and the likelihood is because it is the car at the end and the previous car is fully upgraded, this car, if you upgraded it, would earn you some gold if you completed. So 31 gold. And finally, it does have an exclusive series, and the exclusive series would earn it 100 gold. But as you can see there, that's still quite a considerable amount lower. And again, if I had the gold and it wasn't not as close to an update as we are, I may have been tempted to give this a go. But as it stands, I'm going to leave it well alone. So I'm not in the process of spending any gold for the next 2 weeks. That's the intention. I'm in the process of harvesting gold and getting ideally beyond 1,000. Now, I said in the stream yesterday I was looking to get 50 gold per day, but having seen what I've done over the last 2 days and what I've already got this morning, there's a real possibility I can make that as close to 60 gold a day as possible. And that would give me almost 1,000 gold ready for the next release. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for. But so no upgrades, but obviously we'll do some multiplayer online racing. Now, I've just seen the track. It's Le Mans, and I can't imagine this car being particularly good at that. But we'll have to give it a go, see where we finish. So I'm at the back, but I'm racing against cars that typically will have values less than mine, so that should be all right. Oh, look at that. Easily into the lead. Being a Lamborghini, I'm expecting this to be terrible at handling. So I'm going to tiptoe around the corners. Somebody has already had a hissy fit and left. Okay, so I'm 100 yards ahead. I think I'm going to win this one for sure. But I'm not storming ahead. So I'll do one race and then I'll see where I am in terms of gold. Because again, because the car's not fully upgraded, I very much, at least for me, the way I play, I'll get beyond 5 or 6. I did get 6 gold for last week, which wasn't too bad. And it looks like I'll get 25 gold from last week's weekly time trials. And the weekly time trial reward will come down tomorrow morning. So again, I'm not pushing away. I'm still only 100 odd yards ahead of second place. So there we go. 2/3 of the lap completed. I am in the lead. I'm not pushing away though, but I am in first. So there is a potential banana skin coming up with the curves coming up. As I say, I don't rate this car in terms of grip. Lamborghinis are always quite difficult to manage. Yeah, I can feel her already almost giving away then, even though I was braking. There we go. So we're through that. I'm still in the lead, just. I say just, it's still 100 yards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit out, see how many gold I've got, and then I'll give it another go. God, I thought for a minute then it was going to do 2 laps. Marcos Santos says hello from Portugal. Hello, welcome. Good to have you with us. It will be a short stream today, but again, there will be a stream a little bit later on. So I'm going to do a stream tonight, and that'll be part 2 of the series that I've got available. But this morning's stream is just about completing the time trials that have become available, and also the multiplayer game. Now, apparently, I'm still waiting for the opponents to finish, which does happen, unfortunately, on the multiplayer game. There we go. Server verifying results. We should be there. So hopefully I've got first. And it hasn't decided actually I wasn't first, which has happened in the past. $110. It's not bad. Ah, the car's gone into servicing. Oh, well, just the one race for the moment. So I'll exit out of that. So I'm on 4 gold. So if I go back now to time trial, I should have another opportunity. Has it not come down yet? Oh, there we go. I've got one. So let's give it another go. Let's see if we can improve and get into D. Welcome everyone that's joined. I hope your Tuesday morning is going well. There we go. I really need to be a bit quicker, so it's not looking brilliant. Oh, I've lost it. I'm gonna have to be working on that one. That's a shame. So that is me still in Group E, which is a bit disappointing overall. Prem Prakash Sain says hello. Welcome. He's from India. Welcome from India. So everyone's welcome here. There we go. So not a brilliant set of results there, to be fair. Haven't done particularly well. So there we go. So that's half an hour in, and I've completed the 2 time trials and the online multiplayer game, but I haven't done particularly well, to be fair. I have got an additional reward. So what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit short to end the stream just there, I am going to do one of the things that I was going to do tonight, although I might still revisit it tonight. So I'm actually going to have a bit of fun in the road collection in season 2 and do a little bit of racing in the Italian Menagerie. So it's currently at 38%. I've got all 3 cars available, and I think there's a real possibility of taking this above 50%. And even though I've got just over half an hour, I think I can do that in that time period. So I've got the Ferrari available. So I'm going to do the Ferrari in both of its showcase races, the Hunter and then the Cup. Okay, so just in case of counting down the yards. So I'm 800 yards behind the car. This at the moment for me is the best car in the series. It's got the highest rating PR at this moment in time. So I'm 600 yards behind the Hunted. $500 yards, 400 yards, 300 yards, 200 yards, 100 yards. I'm going to be overtaking the car. I'm still only in fifth though, so there's a bit to do to get first. But there's still quite a bit of the lap to go, so hopefully I'll be all right. 200 yards ahead, 300 yards ahead, 400, 500. I'm in first. I should hopefully keep it there. Although then again, maybe not. Oh, can I get first? Yes, I can. Nice and easy in the end. Oh, it was touch and go there for a moment. Over 600 yards. Marco Santos has put lies will be saved on the channel. I have no idea what you mean by that. Prem Prakash saying has asked, where am I from? I am from England. So I live in the north of England, in Yorkshire. So it is just gone past 11:30 in the UK. Okay, so I'm up to 40%. That's one of the showcase events for the Ferrari 458 done. I shall now do the Cup. 3 laps around Hockenheimring. Let's give it a go. Oops, I really wanted to be on the outside then, but I just couldn't get out. So I'll sneak down the middle. I'm going to sneak into the inside, slow down, use that car as a bumper, into 9th, up to 8th. Looks like it's the potentially long version of the track. I'm into 7th. I'll get at least 1 car at this corner, if not 2. So I'm up to 5th, so I've got 2 there. 4th. So I'm on the podium. It's not even the end of lap 1. 2 cars to overtake. 2 laps to go. Shadia says hello. Welcome back, Shadia. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining. So that's the end of the first lap. I'm actually in the lead. Not the prettiest of laps, but sometimes it doesn't matter. I am nevertheless in the lead. So 2 more laps to go. Let's get on. Yeah, so it looks like I've won this relatively easily. I'm in first. I'm only on the second lap. I'm 350 yards ahead. Yeah, it's looking like another win. And that will take me very close to the 50% mark, where another gold reward will be granted. And even if I don't get up to 50%, as I say, I have got this evening stream from round about 7 p.m. where I will be competing in all of the Open series that I've got, of which at the moment there's a total of 4. So plenty of racing to be had. So that's lap 2 down. I'm still first. I'm 500 yards ahead. Final lap. Okay, last part of the lap. I'm still first. I'm first by over 700 yards. I can't see how I can lose this now, even with my terrible driving. So Shadia says, when I try to drive like you in the game, I keep skidding. How do you do this? Practice. As simple as that, really. And you'll have seen in the stream, I still skid. I think one of the things that Real Racing 3 does get right about the game is the different feel of each of the cars. So what I always find is when I go back to a car, I've got to relearn exactly how it works. So there are some cars that have really good downforce, and there's some cars that don't. And obviously that then determines exactly when you start braking into the corners, and what speed you can go at through those corners. So yeah, it's literally trial and error. There is no easy. There's no quick win on it. It's simply trial and error. And if you keep up at it, you keep with it, you will improve over time. That's how I've done, and I'm still not brilliant. Again, one of the reasons I do these streams is just to show people, even if you are not absolutely brilliant with all the assists turned off, you can still achieve. You can still make progress. So that's it. No secret. Just try every day, and over a period of time, you improve. Hopefully. But as I said, the problem is the car. And again, this is the best feature of Real Racing 3. The cars feel differently, so you always have to relearn a car once you start driving it again. Hence, sometimes, like today, I was absolutely terrible on the time trials. But that's how it is. That's just how it is. So I've actually got a bit of time, even though the Ferrari is in the red, I'm going to use it on this cup, because I reckon at 39.7 being the PR that you need to do to race in that, and this car being at 50.7, even though the durability will probably take it down to say a 48, I reckon I can still easily win this cup. It also maximizes the use of the durability of the car. Oh, so see what I mean? I'm still smashing into cars. I am not a smooth driver. Marcos Santos said, "Are you the one accelerating and braking, or are you in the automatic mode?" So what I do, so first off, in terms of control, although it does depend, I use the default setting. So it's automatic acceleration, and I do the braking. But in terms of assists, I have traction control turned off. So the reason why I have traction control turned off is it does make it difficult, and that's the sliding that Shade Yar's talking about. But what it usually means is, typically on a lap, you can go a second faster. So on some of the events that you do, it's definitely better to have the traction control turned off because you can go quicker on a lap. In terms of steering assist, I'll leave that on high, but I'll come back to another steering assist setting that sort of balances that out. And in terms of brake assist, at the moment, I've got it on low. On certain races, if I have to go faster, I do tend to do it on off. But again, as you've seen during my racing, I do have issues judging when to brake. So I always leave it on low, and if I'm not going fast enough, then I'll put it to off. So there is another setting to do with steering, and that's again under controls. I've set the steering sensitivity down to 0 and then done a calibrate on the device. So I'm not going completely and utterly without driver assists. So I've effectively got one turned off, one still left on, and one half turned off, or half turned on, depending on how you look at it. But I found that those settings are enough to pretty much compete successfully in Real Racing 3. Be able to win the events, be able to complete the series, be able to set a suitable time in the time trials. So Shagar's gone, "I've just started driving without any brake assists." Yeah, and that will be hard. So the reason why I've not done that yet is I absolutely want to conquer the traction control, which I don't think I have fully. So that's why I don't believe in turning everything off. You do one at a time. Make sure you master that, and then you move up a level. So, but if you've done the turning the brake assist on, and you've left traction control on, that's perfectly reasonable. What I would probably suggest though is don't turn them all off. Do one at a time. Conquer the one, and then once you've done that, move on to another one. Or not, as I've decided not to do, at least for the moment. So I'm still on lap 1. I'm in 5th. 4 cars to overtake. Make that in 2nd. And 3 laps to do it in. So even though this car requires servicing, it's still good enough to win this race. And win this race, by the looks of it, quite easily. Although, again, I am smashing into cars. Not purposely, but I'm not smoothly overtaking the cars. But the game allows it, so I think, why not? So Shade, yeah, have you put them all on that setting at the same time, or have you just done the brakes and like your traction control and your steering has been at those settings for a long time and you've mastered them? The only reason why I ask that is all I would say is if you do all of them off or change them all at the same time, you've got more to master. So how I would approach it is I would focus on mastering one. Once you've mastered that, move on. And I do think the one that has the biggest impact in terms of time is traction control. But ironically, it's probably also hard to manage, especially when you lose it and you start skidding all over the place. The thing about brake assists is it's finding where that point in the track you need to brake around corner. But I mean, look, even though I've got that on low, I completely messed that up there. In fairness, probably because I've been yapping too much. So I probably should just get racing. So we're on 50 minutes. I think after this race, the Ferrari will need servicing. I think what I'll do then is I'll do some short races in this series with one of the other cars, and fingers crossed that'll take me above, oops-a-daisy, above 50%, and will enable me to get some more gold. I will be honest, I've been absolutely terrible on this stream. I've definitely been all over the place. Not sure why. I suppose that's another issue when you move from one car to another, and as I said, all the cars have a different feel to them. There we go, that's better. But even though I'm not having the best of moments today, so there you are, there's me losing control with the traction control. I'm still winning. I'm first by over 400 yards, and I'm on the final lap. So this should be another first. But I think after this, the car will then need servicing. But I've got two other cars I've got available to race. So Shay just said, you've just started with the setup. Okay. So all that you're doing there is you're just increasing your learning curve. So if you really do want to master it, I think the best approach is you make one area where you're turning off the assists. You focus on mastering that. Then when you've mastered it, you move on to the other. Unless you're an incredibly experienced sort of like racer in other racing games, then it might be a bit easier for you. But that's how I would approach it in terms of mastering the cars without any assists on. Do it one at a time, master that particular area, and then focus on another area while leaving that area that you've already mastered in an off position. For me, I do think the steering has the least amount of impact on getting your car faster. I think traction control is the big one, and then after that, the braking. It was pretty cool, but I did pretty much hit everything on the track. So it's one of those days today, I'm afraid. Hopefully, I'll be better this evening. Right, so that car I'm going to service now. That'll be, again, ready for this evening if I need to race it. So what my percentage is up to for this series is, skip video, 44%. So I reckon I can do a couple of the shorter races there. In fact, there's quite a few nice ones there. So I'm going to do the autocross, and I'm going to use the Lamborghini Reventon. Let's see how we get on. Now, I wasn't a big fan of this car when I first used it yesterday. In fairness, I'm not a big fan of Lamborghinis in general. I do find them to be massive cars that are quite hard in terms of handling. Okay, so I'm going to take it easy through this section. I've still got 20 seconds to get to the flag, so I reckon I'll be all right. There we go. I'm going to end up doing this quite easily, so that's okay. There we are, 4 seconds to spare. Okay, so hopefully that takes me up to 46%. There we go. I'll go back to tier 11 and I'll first do the drag race because that's a nice quick one without any loss of or very little loss of durability. So I've got at least third. There we go. Race for second now. And there we go, second. Race for first. And he has shot off ahead, but I should catch him. There we go. So that's another first. Has this taken me up to 48%? Continue. Still plenty of durability left on that car. Another tier opened. Skip video. 48%. I'm going to do the head-to-head. And fingers crossed, this takes me to 50% and I get a gold reward. Now, I do like my head-to-heads. It's very rarely I find myself losing on a head-to-head. I am ahead. I am actually racing a copy of a human opponent rather than a computer opponent. So this usually means it's harder. However, the PR, I think, of this particular tier was only about 44 and the car's close to 48. So I think I have a natural advantage simply based on the PR of the car. See what I mean about the Lamborghini? Just going around that corner slowly and she almost lost it. You know, because it's never the driver, it's always about the car. I always know to brake there, especially with these sorts of cars, because they would just slide off. There we go. That's the victory. By quite a bit, actually. 200, 300 yards. The only question is that 49% or is it 50%? And it is indeed 50%. So that's another 13 gold. So to hit an average that I've been doing of 60 gold a day, I need to be at 180. So I'm not quite there, but I've still got plenty of racing to do this evening. So it should be pretty good. So, yeah. Okay. So I think what I'll do there is I said I would do a short stream this morning. I haven't done, in fairness, particularly well. So I've done the time trial. I've only got into E. I think there's a possibility of getting into D, but the car's currently being serviced, so we'll have to come back to that one. Same for the Volkswagen ID.R. I'm in E again. The car's being serviced, and I do think I can improve on that time as well. So I might have a look at that this evening. We'll see. And finally, I've done a multiplayer race. I've got at least 4 gold on the board. I will later this week have another couple of races there to see if I can get that up. So I'm going to end the stream there, but just to make everybody aware, there will be a stream this evening. That will be UK. That will be UK time at 7 p.m. or just after. And what I'll be doing is I currently have 4 series that are open to racing. So in the road collection in season 2, which is now up to 95%, I've got the Italian Menagerie. Obviously, I've got up to 50% today, but I'll be looking to race it again this evening. In addition, on the exclusive series, so these are cars that have been upgraded to 100%. I've got the Morgan Plus 6, the McLaren MP4/4. They're both at 75%. I won't be taking them up to 100%, but I will be ticking off some of the races in those 2 series. And what I will be looking to do this evening is take the McLaren Artura above 50% in its exclusive series. And if I do that, I'll earn 30 gold, which will make my total over the last 3 days as being 194, which is close to 65 gold a day. And again, if I keep that up until the next update, which will be in 2 weeks' time, I will definitely have over 1,000 gold ready for the next update. So that will be my target, and that will be my plan. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing this evening. As I said, the stream will go live round about 7 p.m. UK time. So all it remains for me to say is thank you all very much for joining. I know it's been a short stream, but I hope you've had a good laugh at my terrible driving today. Sliving over my beard there. Apologies for that. I hope you've enjoyed that. And yeah, I hope to see you this evening round about 7 p.m. It will be a longer stream. I suspect it will be at least 2 hours long, if not 3 hours long. So I hope to see you there. In the meantime, all that remains for me to say is to say thank you and goodbye.